Hello guys and welcome back to another episode of our EAFC 24 career mode and what could potentially be the last of the series. Yes, today we return with the Champions League final as we take on our former team Sheffield United, as we've sort of gone full loop in the save after moving on from Bramall Lane. We moved to Juventus in Turin. This is our second season. If you haven't been watching, then make sure to check it out. But of course, we now face Sheffield United in the Champions League final at Wembley with a chance to win the competition against our former team. Now, what I wanted to do was actually take a look at the Sheffield United squad. For those that don't play career mode, when you move on from a club, they basically gut the team, sell everyone and rebuild, which is it's a bit of a shame to see the squad that you've made be completely gutted. But we're going to have a look who's still there. Of course, Gavin Bazunu, who we signed in Season 2, went on to become one of the best goalkeepers in the world. He is still there alongside Garifani, who we sold when we moved to Juventus. Jayden Bogle still there. Alex Centelles has moved on from Spain. Dumfries retiring at the end of the season. Milos Kerkez, who was another of our signings at left back. They've got Andrew Omobamidele. William Saliba is still there. Of course, we know that the captain Anel moved on to Manchester City. Looks as if they replace him with Antonio Silva. Both Dimitriou bros are still there. Gustavo Harmer still going strong, although he is finally leaving to join Nice. They've got Kai Havertz, Gabriel Sara, Ewan Stone, and Lukas Sucic is still there. He was the main man, of course, during our time at the Blades. Up front, again, a massive clear out. They've got Beto, Daniel Jebison, Mitchell, Joaquin Pardo, and Eli Wahi is still there. Of course, Calvert-Lewin left to join AC Milan, who we rivaled with this season and last in the Serie A. So I've done enough chatting. We are going to dive straight into the game. Here is our lineup. Of course, the captain, Jude Bellingham, still unavailable due to injury. So I've actually slotted Weston McKennie in, and he will take the armband. One of the Juventus OGs still here, of course. And if we are to win today, he will be the man to lift the trophy. Of course, Harry Matthews, former Sheffield United man, came through the academy against his former team today. So time to get into things. It's the big one at the Champions League final, Wembley Stadium against our former team, Forza Juventus. Wow, look at that for a shot. The Wembley Arch under the lights, or the evening sky. Of course, a stadium that many fans in England will have been to. I myself was there not too long ago for the League Two playoff final, in the sun rather than under the lights, but nevertheless a fantastic stadium. And of course, Sheffield United playing in their home country. We're travelling to England to take them on, and I'm feeling a little bit nervous but confident as well. We've had a fantastic season, of course, undefeated as we did with the Blades all the way back in Season 6, our final season with them. So both clubs that I finished unbeaten with in their league, in their domestic league, facing off against each other for the biggest trophy in club history. Well, you've already seen my team. Here is how the Blades line up. Wouldn't say it's as strong as when we were at the club, but it is still pretty decent. Beto and Wahi up top. Lukas Sucic, of course, in that midfield. They've reverted to their back five with Kerkez and Bogle as wing backs. And I quite like to see that Gus Harmer wearing the armband for the Blades. I'm sure he did wear it a few times when we were at the club, and after Anel's moved on, seems fitting that it went to Gus Harmer, one of the OGs. Here we come with Martinelli, pegged all the way back to Weston McKennie on the edge, and that would have been a story if the vice captain had scored in the final. Martinelli swings the corner in, Saliba clears. 5 minutes to go in what has been a pretty tame first half here at Wembley. Onyedika into McKennie. And Duzan on the spin. Vlahovic Again, it's pretty comfortable for Gavin Bazunu, but he still had to get his body in the way of the shot. And that looks as if we will go into the break deadlocked at 0-0. Not a classic of a Champions League final, but none of them seem to have been in recent times. As Dusan gets us underway in the second half. And I was actually chatting to a mate recently about the Champions League final. We were watching Real Madrid against Dortmund, and we were just saying how the last, I think, 6 years, there's been something like eight goals or 10 goals in the finals. I think there's been 4 1-0s and 2 2-0. So yeah, that's eight goals in the last 6 finals. And I get that it's a big occasion and they're always tight and cagey, but yeah, those big Champions League finals. I remember Real Madrid against Juventus in Cardiff when Madrid ended up winning 4-1. That was a crazy game, and they're just not the same. Not quite the same as they used to be. It's been all Juventus pressure, but I think the Blades are pretty happy defending their goal as Dusan again forces the save out of Bazunu. Matthews, McKennie, Matthews, it's over the top. Well, as Matthews fires over with 15 to play, I'm going pretty bold and making some attacking substitutions. Changing the system slightly. It's 2 up top to help get Dusan some company up there. Will it backfire though and leave us a little bit more exposed at the back? It's a risk that I feel we have to take if we want to go on to win. But here come the Blades, cleared by Dallo, another of the substitutes. Bakayoko, McKennie, and Dusan! Parried away by Bazunu again. Well, is there to be more Champions League drama? Are we to see a late winner? Koundé nicks it back. It's got to be now. It's got to be now. And Martinelli. And Dusan. And Matthews. And Bakayoko looking for Nilos. And we couldn't force it in. Oh! I don't quite know what to say. Oh my god. Of all the scenarios I'd played out in my head, Matthews, Nilos against their former team, and in the 5th minute of stoppage time, William Saliba. What have you done, my friend? What an anticlimactic way to end the series. Because I think that is going to do it. In my head, I always had it that if we won here and we went full loop and defeated our former team, that is the perfect way to end it. And I had all these scenarios, as I say. Matthews, the man who came out of the academy, played second fiddle to Luka Sucic. We brought him with us to Turin and made him our main man. Nilos Kaya, the ultimate backup striker. I thought one of them might nick it, and it's an own goal from William Saliba. I mean, that is just crazy. But Weston McKennie will lift the Champions League for Juventus. Back-to-back Champions Leagues for Juventus as well. And it is a historic night in England's capital. I cannot believe the way that we won it. Heartbreak for Sheffield United on home soil. And I mean, I thought we were destined for extra time. I don't know why the referee even played on. As soon as we gave the ball away, that should have been it. And I thought he'd blown when the ball rolled into the net. Oh my goodness. I mean, as I say, what a ridiculous way to end the series. That is going to defeat for the Blades in the Champions League final. But it is Juventus who lift it for back-to-back seasons. I cannot believe that. Juventus are your Champions League winners. I mean, just taking a look at the match facts. We had almost 60% possession, 14 shots to the Blades 1, an XG of 2, and we probably should have been a goal up already. Quick shout out for Gavin Bazunu, who got player of the match with, 7 saves from 8 shots on target. A fantastic display from the Irishman, but it wasn't enough to take his team to Champions League glory. This is how we leave our Juventus squad, and it was such a fantastic squad. I mean, you look at the player ratings, we've got Costa 90, Koundé's 90, Gvardiol's probably not far off, same as Parisi. De Jong was 90 at one point before he started to decrease. Martinelli's 88, Klojek 88, Duzan's of course 91. We've got so many high 80 rated players, of course Bellingham as well, who was down injured, but such a fantastic squad that we assembled here at Juventus. So we'll go and have a detailed look at the stats and the figures for this team before we close out the series. So we have got lots of players to get through, so I'm going to try and keep this pretty brief, but of course it is the final one of the save, so I want to go through it in a little bit of detail. But Diogo Costa, fantastic keeper for us, 26 clean sheets in 53 games, so just under a clean sheet every other game, and of course 22 in 38 in the league. Fantastic. And as we see there under the status, he really is one of the world's best. Desplanches was a decent backup, just the one clean sheet, which actually came in the Super Cup. But he only played 5 times this season, but a solid backup when called upon. Fabiano, as I say, 30 years of age now, but I think without that injury, he would have got to 90 at some stage next season. 38 appearances, 5 assists and 21 clean sheets. He was a rock at the back in that left back position, and he was fantastic. Carlo did a decent job when called upon, but didn't really feature much this season with just 14 appearances. At the back, our two sort of mainstays at centre-back were Gvardiol and Koundé, but of course both went down with injuries this season. Gvardiol, I think, similarly to Parisi, would have reached 90 at some stage, but due to the injuries, only featured 22 times in the Serie A. But look at that, 17 clean sheets when he played. I mean, that is just outrageous. Notched up 3 goals for himself as well. Koundé got 2 goals and an assist, 17 clean sheets. Romero was a decent backup. He played 18 times in the Serie A with 7 clean sheets. Parola and Diamande both sort of took a back seat this year and didn't really feature too much, as these were the 3 sort of mainstays. And Rafael Onyedika did a stint at centre-back as well. So moving on, Diogo Dalot, brilliant signing, of course. We brought him in from AC Milan in the summer. Made 33 appearances for the team this year with 1 goal and 2 assists. Also grew a rating at the age of 32, which is pretty good. And he shared the game time with this man, Amar Dedic. 36 appearances, no goals and just the 1 assist, but he didn't get forward as much as Parisi on the other side. But both Dalot and Dedic, fantastic options if you need a dual-sided fullback for your squad. Stefano, again, similarly to Carlo on the left side, his brother, didn't feature a huge amount, just the 8 appearances for him, but he did grow 1 overall to 80. Onyedika featured more towards the end of the season in those big crunch games, and yeah, he really made a difference. That proper anchor man, so good at breaking things up and winning the ball back. 24 appearances in all competitions, 2 goals and 1 assist, and I'd recommend this guy if you need like a real defensive midfielder for your team. He is fantastic. Fede Chiesa, 33 years of age now, and of course he's been down with quite a long-term injury. He's actually just coming back, but 5 goals, 3 assists from him is a pretty decent return considering his stats are declining, and still popped up with quite a few important goals for us, but has been injured for the last 3 months. Julian Duranville, he's a player that I really wanted to get on with. I really like his stats. He's absolutely rapid, and actually on the ball he's got some decent stats as well, but I just didn't really get on with him. Just the 2 goals. He got quite a few assists with 9 in all competitions. Did grow a rating, but was used more as an impact sub than anything else. But if you can compare his stats to Vincenzo Longo, 14 starts, 14 appearances, 3 goals and 1 assist for someone who's 79 overall, so 8 ratings lower. He was fantastic as a squad option in the sort of backup brigade, especially in those latter stages of the season when we pretty much knew that the Serie A had been wrapped up. So a very good option. Bernardo Silva, 36 years of age now. Don't think he's retiring. No, he's got another year on his contract, so probably 1 more year for Bernardo. Down 2 overall, but 31 appearances, so he did feature a lot, especially at the start of the campaign. And 2 goals and 9 assists for him, so still putting up some pretty good numbers even at the age of 36. De Jong, a similar story, now at 34 years of age. I probably would sell him next summer if we were to be staying, just due to the fact he's 34 and declined 2 overall. 28 appearances, it's actually the exact same stats as Bernardo, 2 goals and 9 assists, and he was still very solid in the centre of the park. Weston McKennie, the backup captain, the vice when Jude Bellingham went down, one of the OGs, been at Juventus since the start of the save. 25 appearances this season with 1 goal and 5 assists, so featured quite a lot, and he's just the utility man. He played literally everywhere for me. Had stints at fullback on either side, centre back, midfield, on the wings, even attacking midfield at times as well. And he's a really, really solid option if you need someone who just does the nitty gritty, proper utility man. We love you, Weston McKennie. Ranocchia didn't feature much this season, just the 9 appearances, mostly off the bench in the Serie A, a couple of cup appearances as well. No returns for him. But Jude Bellingham, of course, went down with that injury. He is also just making his way back, but one of the best in the world. 8 goals and 7 assists in his 37 appearances. 7 goals and 7 assists in the league. And he was fantastic until he went down, of course. He is the club captain, but unfortunately unable to lift the Champions League due to the injury. Noah Lamadi was a fantastic pickup on transfer deadline day in the summer. You can see the average ratings across the Champions League and the Serie A. Really, really solid. Grew by 2 overall. 25 appearances, 3 goals and 3 assists. And he was a really good partner for Rafael Onyedika when Bellingham went down towards the latter stages of the season. I really enjoyed using Lamadi. Adam Klojek, fantastic season for him. Grew another rating up to 88 overall. 37 appearances, 12 goals and 13 assists in all competitions from attacking midfield is very, very impressive. You can see the rating in the Coppa Italia as well. 1 goal, 1 assist, and the Super Cup. 1 goal, 1 assist in just 1 appearance. So very solid from our Czech attacking midfielder, and him and Matthews sort of shared the game time, of course. Matthews again suffered another long-term injury. I think he spent 3 months on the sideline. So it was his main issue was those broken toes. He was cursed. Harry Matthews had cursed toes. But a very good season for him. 7 goals, 6 assists in all competitions in just 24 appearances. And again, if he'd been fit the whole season, his numbers would have been significantly better. But we love Harry Matthews. Came out the Blades Academy, and will always be remembered when we look back on this save. Gabriel Collins, it's a shame we're not really going to be able to use him much more, because he was up to 75 overall and had a pretty good season in limited minutes. Again, 3 goals and 3 assists, so 6 goal contributions in just 13 games, and up to 75 overall. I really liked Gabriel, and it's a shame we won't see more of him. Ferrari, Romano, these guys both out on loan. Martins, another youngster. Andrade, all had some pretty decent growth, but of course didn't feature for us this season. Prestiani, similar to Duranville, I didn't really get on with him. He's very, very quick, of course, but on the ball I struggled with him at times. Just the 1 goal and 6 assists from him. Again, lots of those came from the bench as a sort of a super sub, an impact sub. But yeah, I didn't feel like I got the most out of any of my wingers this season. Gabriel Martinelli, probably the best of the bunch, 10 goals and just the 3 assists for the Brazilian. But yeah, obviously we brought him in the summer. I don't know what it was, maybe the formation. I just didn't get the most of them. Obviously most things went centrally through Vlahovic and Klojek or Matthews, whoever was playing in behind, but just never seemed to get the best out of my wingers. Again, Bakayoko, a much better season for him, 10 goals and 7 assists from that right-hand side. But again, I still feel like those numbers could have been higher. Just 6 goals in the league this season, considering we were the top scorers, doesn't feel like many. Nathan Jackson, again, similarly to Gabriel, shame we won't be able to see more of him, as they were sort of my Canadian partnership that came out of the academy at Sheffield United. But I'm sure in our next save we're going to have some more fantastic youth players. The Salah brothers, again, didn't feature. We love our footballing brothers, but they both looked pretty decent. Again, Sorrentino didn't feature. Dybala was brought back, and he's got another year on his deal, so that'll take him till he's 38. Didn't feature really much this season, but 1 goal, 1 assist from him. You love to see that, and he's a fan favourite at Juventus. As for our strikers, Barros, youngster, I'm going to actually do this in order. Ambrosini was our 3rd choice striker. Didn't feature a lot this season, just the 12 appearances, but he did pop up with 4 goals and an assist. So I always said with Ambrosini, he was very decent when called upon. It was just a shame he was behind these two in the pecking order. But I mean, I don't really know what to say about both of these guys. Nilos Kaya must be the best backup striker I have ever used. Fantastic option off the bench with the pace, 94 pace, 5-star, 5-star. Just always knew where the back of the net was. Again, like I say, if it was off the bench or starting, and you remember this guy came out of the academy as a defender. You can see the listed positions: right back, centre back, left back. We nurtured him, we grew him into the player that he is today. 19 goals, 7 assists, with plenty of them coming off the bench. A fantastic return, and I'm going to miss this guy when we end the save. I'm going to miss Nilos Kaya, possibly the most out of everyone. But Dusan Vlahovic was, of course, the main man, brought back at the beginning of last season. Our top scorer in both campaigns, just shy of 30 this year. 29 goals, 12 assists in 44 appearances, 23 goals in the league, and the top scorer once again in the Serie A. But I just want to take a quick look. If we go to the ratings, we've got, 4 players 90 plus. We've got Vardio and Parisi at 89, and a few more like high 80s. It's just such a good squad that we'd put together here at Juventus. And yeah, I'm really going to miss this save, but I've got something very fun lined up to come over the next sort of couple of weeks. But there's a quick look at the top scorers: Dusan, Nilos and Klojek, the top 3. Bakayoko and Martinelli in double digits. And for assists, it was Klojek leading the way, and Dusan, again, a fantastic season for him with 12. De Jong, Duranville and Bernardo all with 9. But I think that is pretty much it, guys. What we will do very quickly to close out is take a look at who won the rest of the competitions, the domestic cups. Actually, no, we don't know, do we? We don't know, so we'll have a look in a moment. So the Conference League was won by Hoffenheim, beating West Ham in the final. Wow, Bromby did really well to get to the semis, knocking out Girona before losing to the eventual winners. As for the Europa League, that was won by Red Bull Salzburg. Fantastic for them to win the Europa League, beating Liverpool in the semis and then Lyon in the final. Of course, the Champions League we know was won by ourselves just earlier on in the episode against Sheffield United. Super Cup we already know, sorry. Who won the Coppa Italia? It was Inter. So Napoli failed to reclaim their Coppa Italia title after they beat us in the final last year and then knocked us out in the semis this year. Just our single defeat of the season. In fact, let's have a look at our career. 449 games. How annoying is that? We're one shy of 450. If we'd won that Coppa Italia semi-final, we'd have been on 450. 289 wins, 83 draws, and just 77 losses. A fantastic return. 897 goals scored, 434 conceded. I'm not going to go through every season. It was, of course, a fantastic campaign for us this year. Oh, it was 2 losses. Of course, we lost the first leg of the Champions League semi-final to City, didn't we? Of course. So it was actually 2 losses, but we turned it around in the second leg. You look at the goal difference throughout the course of this season. I mean, it was similar last year as well, but yeah, just a fantastic season, and yeah, reminiscent of that final year with the Blades. Again, I'm not going to go through every single season because I'll be here forever, but it's yeah, we've come a long way since this first season in the Premier League, where we finished 15th with 82 goals conceded. We've definitely come a long way. But guys, I think that is it. I don't really have anything else to show. So yeah, that is where we will leave it for this Juventus team. What a way to end it. Champions League and league winners. Technically, we won a treble if you include the Italian Super Cup, which I don't really, so we'll class it as a double. But 106 points in the Serie A, unbeaten for the second time in the save, and ending with a Champions League win against our former club. It doesn't get much better than that. I will leave it there, guys. I've been rambling for ages. I've really enjoyed this save, and if you have too, please do drop a like and stay tuned for a brand new save starting very soon. But I will catch you for that very soon. Keep an eye out, guys, because I'm very excited for it, and I'll catch you later. Peace.